Hi, everyone. It's Renee Cormier from the Fractional Referral Network. Today, I've got Paul Zyla in the spotlight. Paul is a CTO, focuses on working with small independent banks and credit unions, and now and then even takes a small business on. Paul, welcome, welcome aboard. Really happy
Thank
to
you.
have you in the Fractional Referral Network. Paul is, by the way, super connected and a super referrer for me. And I'm eternally grateful.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, Paul, tell us a little bit more about who you are and the kind of work you do as a fractional.
Well, for me, it's been my history and my career has really been focusing on the technology side in various industries, whether it's been healthcare or financial services, government, and so various areas that I've been in for 38 years. 25 years as a leader of some sort, whether it's manager, director, senior director, CIO, CTO, those and CISO, those kinds of roles. And obviously because of the different industries I've been in, I have different, I've experienced different things. But overall, from a technology perspective, one thing I've always noticed is no matter the size of the organization, when it comes to technology or the resources or the processes, et cetera, there's always more to do. There's always more efficiency to gain. There's always more headaches to solve. And nowadays, with technology changing as quickly as it is, I firmly believe that, you know, obviously businesses have to take advantage of that. They have to bring technology to the forefront and not leave it in the corner in the back office. It does so much more than that. And on the other side of that coin is the technology group has to bring their best game to collaboration and communication and sharing of information. And so that's with all of that experience, all of those learnings, then I've taken that into now the fractional consulting leadership role. I started this back in July of 2024 and have learned a ton. And it's definitely been changing the way I think, the way I act, the way I interact with people, and looking for really those areas in my client profile, financial services, as you said, where I always ask, what's keeping you up at night when it comes to technology or security? And based upon those answers, that's where I can say I can help. I can, but let's have that engagement. Let's talk about it and figure out whether I can help you or somebody else can help you. I can connect you with the right person.
So what was the thing that made you decide to pursue fractional employment?
Well, I guess I'll be honest about that. Um, like I said, I've spent pretty much all of my career in corporate, and I think really after all this time, and you see the good, you see the not so good, and you see all the culture changes and all those things. I just thought, especially now where I'm at in my career, uh, I felt that it's corporate is um, I'm done with corporate. Uh, I've ran that out, and thought, well, okay, let me see about this fractional and consulting opportunity so that I can have it now as well as into my retirement years, and so. Um, it's just overall culture and moving on and really wanting to contribute what I've learned over those 38 years to other organizations, whether they're financial or any other thing based.
Did you feel like you were aging out, or
No,
just tired of the grind?
no, I think it's no. Great question. No, I don't think I'm that. I never felt that way about like, oh boy, I'm kind of being profiled as old, um, which I am. But no, I never felt that way. It's just more of, oh, this is the culture I was in, and now all of a sudden, because of whatever a merger or whatever the case is, boom, now this culture is going to be this way. It's like, okay, that's I didn't sign up for that, and so to me, it was that kind of grind. And then I think, though, back to my other point, I know what I can contribute. I know what I've learned. I know how to mentor future leaders. I'm at that age where, in career in my life, where I want to just share. I want to give back, and I can do that as a fractional versus as a corporate.
Okay. So what's the thing that you enjoy most about working as a fractional professional?
Oh, I think it's right now. It's been not only, it's gotten me out of my shell from the perspective of networking and communication and sharing of information to other fractionals or other consultants. And so that piece of it, being in IT, usually you're kind of this introvert. That is, I have just bursted out of that piece from collaboration and sharing and things like that. But then also because it's yes, my focus has been on financial. I've had opportunities to fractionally work with other organizations outside of the financial area, and man, I'm learning a ton, right? And that's kind of fun when when you can say, okay, I'm doing this and I'm doing it for them, and it's tying to my values. Perfect, let's do it. And so I'm learning in that particular way.
Do you actually consider yourself an introvert? Because I think
Oh
you're
yeah,
quite social.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can be, but once you get me out of my shell, that's maybe a little bit different. But and you really have to know me to do that, right? I'm not going to do the what I normally do with family or friends or whatever the case is. But yeah, I'm a little bit of both. But yeah, I
You're
focus
not
on it.
shy. You're not shy, but you get your energy from solitude.
Yes, exactly, exactly. There you go. Boy, you're good at reading my head. So I appreciate that.
Got you figured right out.
That's right. Oh yeah, you do. That's for sure.
So, what's one challenge that you're working through right now, Paul?
Um, relate obviously related to those to a client. It's really been one particular case is at a client now focusing really on maturing uh, the the technology group, the technology, the engagement, the collaborations, really kind of pulling IT out again of that back office, and kind of that viewpoint of being reactive versus proactive, and it's a very small group, so that's really fun. So you can even get some of the hands-on, but then educating the business in regards to what IT can do,
Yeah.
and then trying to repair or close the gap specific to what's been done in the past, what's been some of the pain points from a relationship perspective, and starting to close those challenges. That's been fun.
And so, what's one piece of advice that you'd give to someone who's just starting out in this fractional world?
Be prepared to really spend time um, on setting it up, right?
Yeah.
Um, you, I keep using this term with everybody now I've been talking to, especially folks that have just started or are starting. I said, one of the big things you're going to have a challenge with is literally turning your LinkedIn profile on its head, because
Yeah.
that's exactly what you're doing. You are no longer a CIO or a CFO or a COO or a CIO, and then here's all of your jobs that you've had,
Yeah.
and oh, I was a CIO and I did this. That's irrelevant. You are now focused on the outcomes you can deliver to potential clients as a
Yes.
consultant. And you've got to
Yes.
turn your LinkedIn profile completely upside down and make it like that. You're no longer in the corporate space. You are a consultant, you're a fractional leader. Say it that way, be specific that way. You need to start posting, you need to start commenting. I create uh, publications or newsletters. I have a fractional group that we get together every Tuesday, first of the month, and have a an hour session. It's all fractionals. You have to engage. I've got a YouTube channel. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But you've got to think beyond. Okay, I'm trying to make a company HR person or a CEO select me for a perm job. No, you're looking at a CEO that has a pain point, and how do you go about listening to that and then putting a plan in place?
Yeah, I always encourage people, position yourself as a partner to the
Yeah,
CEO.
correct.
You're helping them move the grand vision forward.
Yep,
If your LinkedIn profile looks like a resume, if you're speaking to them like an employee, you're going to be treated like an employee, and
absolutely.
more likely than not, you will be overlooked.
Yep, exactly.
Because they're
Completely.
looking for a certain kind of person. And it's not about answering all the right questions. It's a very different kind of conversation, right?
Yes, I completely agree, and completely agree from the corporate perspective, and sending out a 4-page resume, that's not doing it. What you got to do is you got to convert that. Even if you're going to send out something, you're going to have to make it more of a CV. It's a 1 or 2 page max. That this is why I'm in consulting or a leader, fractional leader, and these are the things that I've accomplished, or these are the things I can accomplish for you based
Yeah,
upon my
right. It's not about what I've done. It's
that's
about
right.
what I
Right.
can do for you. And you
For
have to
you as a
change
client.
that around. So,
Yep,
because people don't care so much about what you've done at this point, right?
correct.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Right.
They just want to know how are you going to make them
Yeah.
money
How are you gonna
saving.
solve my yeah, how are you gonna make me sleep better at night?
That's right. So I got to ask you, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received as a fractional?
I think from my perspective, um, it's been really around, um, what you deliver as a fractional leader specific to it's not about it's not about the hourly project and those kinds of things. It's not project based, it's outcome based. And
Yes.
your conversation is completely different because if you're going in as a project, then you're thinking to yourself, okay, that's probably going to be hourly. I got to track my hours. I got to bill on those hours, et cetera, et cetera. Versus an outcome based where you're trying to solve a problem. You're not necessarily part of a Gantt chart that's just delivering some sort of system. You're delivering an assessment. You're delivering a specific outcome, and you're saying, I'm going to do that in 1 month, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever the case is, and here's the cost.
Mhm.
And here's going to be your deliverables. But overall, I'm just going to charge you at the end and say, here it is. And then, we're done. And then, you get paid on the outcome and those deliverables versus the hours you spend to get there.
Yes, exactly. Excellent. You've been well taught, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. Gee, I wonder who's done that. Hmm.
Self-promotion.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Self-promotion is better than no promotion.
That's right. Exactly. Correct. Correct. Yep.
Well, thank you, Paul. This has been really fun. I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to keep you on the call, however.
Okay.
So
Sounds
thank-
good. Thanks, Renee.
thanks,
Bye bye.
everybody.